my personal perspective was I was not anti-war, uh, but I did not want to participate in the war. So it's just a little bit of uh, discontinuity, but there were a number of people who throughout the country were anti-war, and it was a growing movement. But Kent was a very conservative school for the most part, and there was not a large amount of anti-war people who were at Kent State at the time of in May of 2000 in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
Nationally, the protest movements were growing. You saw a protest movement growing in the early 60s, primarily focused on civil rights and free speech. There was a free speech movement in the mid 60s at Berkeley, and also in the mid 60s, is about 64, 65, they put ground troops into Vietnam. So you had the beginnings of anti-war movement in Vietnam. So you saw the Students for Democratic Society, the Underground Weatherman, a number of national protest organizations start to grow, and they were taking root in a number of universities. University of Michigan, where the SDS was formed, was a bit of a hotbed for protest movements. Some of the larger universities in there, I mentioned Berkeley, Stanford, University of Texas, even Ohio State, but not Kent State. Mm-hmm. So you had a growing national movement, but when an organization that had some 200 chapters, such as the SDS, tried to form at Kent State, they weren't successful. They had a couple of demonstrations there, and they ended up having more anti-SDS people at the demonstration than they did people supporting them.